If you've ever expected ketchup and got red water instead, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Looks like Tesla / SpaceX making some news here today. No worries. We're going to cover all of that. We got a special guest that we're going to start off. I'm just going to get right into it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Good morning, folks, and happy Thursday. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Thanks all of you for joining us from pre-market prep. We are actually going to trade these markets here this morning. Quantum, Carmen, EKS, Market Sniper, Trade the Pool, Rock, Miles, let's go. The whole rest of the crew, I'm sure, will be filing in behind you. Now, of course, I've got my main man, 13, in the back, but I also have a special guest today going to give us some ideas here to trade. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we start, of course, I'm going to mention that this stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool, the best prop firm out there. Do you need help getting above 25K? They got you covered. You want a huge pool of stocks to trade from? They got you covered on that too. Maybe you just need $250,000 buying power. Well, you can get up to 260K with Trade the Pool. So be sure to check them out. The guys hop in our stream and help us out all of the time, and we appreciate it. Today, though, we're going to give you a little bit extra. 13, how you doing here today?
I'm excited for a spaceship launch. How about you?
I'm excited just looking at the excitement on your face. But I'm also excited to get to our special guest. That is, of course, Michael from Trade the Pool. Michael, how you doing today?
What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm good.
All right, awesome. So, like I said, I was just kind of hyping you up here.
Thanks.
I know the last time that we were together, you gave us a couple of stocks that you were watching and a couple of trade plans on those stocks, and they were absolutely awesome. So I'm looking for the exact same thing here today.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Okay. No pressure, right? No pressure.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
All right. Do you want to share your screen? Do you want me to just kind of drive for you? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I'll take the screen if it's okay.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about the market first, I guess. So NASDAQ, we had very nice trades on that lately on the NASDAQ, because you can see it's super technical, and this is why I love to trade the NQ or the Qs, just because the market is very technical, and it's kind of easy to mark the levels and understand where we add in. We saw this support from yesterday. We took some longs on Nvidia and big names as well. And right now we drop in just a tiny bit. A classic move will be, this is an hourly chart, so a classic move will be breaking that support, retesting it, playing with the level, and then continue to the downside. I don't know if we will get it just today, but for me it makes sense that this is what we should see eventually, maybe tomorrow as well, or Monday. So I'm kind of bearish on the market. That being said, we got some stocks that are gapping up or down just because of earnings. For example, Futu, after earnings, FUTU, dropping from 65, went all the way down to 56, and now at 62. What I usually do is go to the hourly chart and just mark the levels that we are playing with currently. So let's say 61 right now. So obviously we have this open gap that will, in most cases, will show us support or resistance, depends where we come from. So 59.40 should be a support level. Mm-hmm. If we'll see that drop, we can start looking for buy the dip. Obviously, we need a little bit more parameters to back us up with that, but that's the idea. And you also have the 60-60. You can see that long tail from 2 days ago. So 60-60 could work as well as a support. Once I have those lines on the hourly chart, I'll go into the 1 minute chart. Let me clear it up for a second. I'll take the pivots out. So we can see we already played with those two levels. One option would be breaking above 62.10, continue to try to test the highs of yesterday close. The other one, which I prefer, is actually breaking those two levels that we just talked about, retesting them, and then drop again to the next support level, basically. So this is what I'm aiming for. What do you think on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I like that. So on Futu, it seems to me, I like the three levels that you have there. I actually took a look at this here this morning because I've actually watched this stock before. I love that. To me, it seems like that key really is 59.50. I know you have 59.43 marked off there, but for the most part, it's 59.50.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. That initial impulse move where you get a back test of that really sets you up for a super quality entry. Sometimes one of the things that I like to do is I actually like to wait for candle closes, but that requires an entire daily candle to close in some cases. This is a much faster way to get that same type of really good tactical entry intraday. And I think that here you've got a really good spot. I mean, if we are able to backtest that 59.50 and we're able to hold below it, I think that 57 level, I know your line there is at 57.70. I actually think you could probably go a little bit lower than that. So I like this setup a lot here. I especially like this because I feel like today, I agree with Dennis. I feel like the market's going to kind of be choppy. So we might get some of that back and forth movement. And this stock, obviously reporting earnings, there's already eyeballs on it. I love that setup.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense. And we got DG as well. Also after earnings, popping up to 166 currently. Already visit the 169. So again, going to the hourly chart, from time to time you see so many traders using so many indicators and trying to just connect a lot of the dots, but actually keeping it simple in most cases, at least for me, worked the best. So just looking for that extra support or resistance level, the close one, and then try to build the scenarios either to the up or the downside, because we don't really know what will happen. We can only prepare ourselves to something that will happen. So looking at DG 165 currently, the next resistance, or actually the next support, if we drop in, we should see support at around 164.20. Again, that's an area. It's not necessarily going to be right on the dot, with like a 20 cents range, and above it, that's a tough one. Roughly 168. That's a bit of a choppy range, so that's going to be a tough one to handle at the top.
Yeah, that one, Joe often, or 13 here, often explains these as supply zones, right? That entire area up there looks to be an area that we really kind of chopped around. There's likely a lot of supply at a bunch of those different levels. So again, I really like what you did there with the area in terms of kind of looking at that as a result. And even in the pre-market, look where we stopped. I mean, that's literally perfect. So yeah, I like that too.
What I aiming for in this case is breaking the 164.20, retesting maybe even the 200 EMA here, and then dropping. That will be the best one in my case. The other option, if we will see that breaking through resistance, retesting it only when we will test it again and hold it, then we can start buying on that level. But I'm aiming for the short side, a little bit of a bias side for the short.
Yeah, and I have the same bias that you do. And furthermore, I think if we actually break that 156, if we do have a downside move, that 156 to 155 area should also represent a little bit of support. But if that breaks here today, a lot of air under that, and you can get a real substantial move down. So I would agree with you. I like the short setup here a little bit more. But you're right, have a plan in case either one happens. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So those are the main ones that I'm watching. Obviously, Nvidia, Tesla, like always, Qs too. But that's just normal trading on Nvidia. Same day, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, NVIDIA is an absolute wild one. Now, today, though, I'm glad that you mentioned Tesla, because that's definitely one that we're going to be watching here today. Tesla is, it's volatile every day, but we also have a SpaceX launch coming up here. Joe, what is that? About 15 minutes, it looks like. Are we good? Are we go for launch?
It still has about 10 minutes, 50 seconds left until their expected launch. Their window right now is from 7 a.m. to 8:50 a.m. Central Time, so that's 9:50. So we could probably get this launch while we're trading.
Okay.
I got a story on that.
Yeah.
I got a story on that. The launch thing, right? Because I traded a few years ago SPCE, Virgin Galactic, biggest loss that I ever had, 91K in 3 days.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. The day of the launch, I bought it, and every day after that, it just dropped like crazy. And no matter what I did, it didn't work. So that was, so I remember carefully on the day of the launch, be careful, look for the short side.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you said that there, because a lot of the time we talk about some of these events, whether they're rockets or any other type of event, we talk about some of these events being a sell the news event, and that's sure what it seemed like there in Virgin Galactic. The interesting thing here about Tesla is we've got such a cult following for this stock, and I that's not a bad thing. I just mean that there are a lot of fans here. Stock really just seems to kind of be volatile and sometimes go up when you think it'll go down, and vice versa. Joe, the last time we watched this, we had a rocket that exploded. It was by design that it was going to happen that way, but everyone thought it was bad news and the stock sold off.
Yeah.
We're going to see the same thing today, do you think? What's the plan for this rocket?
So what they're trying to do with this launch is they're trying to go through some of the same steps they did with the previous two launches, but one of the things that they've added was a bay door that they're going to test if they can get up into orbit. That's going to be the payload bay door, where they send out the SpaceX satellites for Starlink. They're also going to try to test fuel transfer from one section of the craft to another. So just some things that they couldn't really do on the ground, they're going to try to get up into orbit and test there. But they're not going to have that orbital flight that the previous two were supposed to have. They're only going to go as far as I think the Indian Ocean, and that's where they're expected to splash down eventually. So this is they're not going to. This is not going to land. This is going to end up in the ocean. So there's potential for loss. But they're trying to just gather data at this point and try to refine their craft, because they pump these ships out all the time.
Okay, so that's actually really good context. Again, kind of knowing what the plan is going in, maybe that'll help us trade it. Joe, I assume that you are watching this live. Can you let our viewers know how maybe they could watch it live? I don't have it up. I'm going to put the players on here in a second.
So this is not a pump, but you can watch this. I'm watching Everyday Astronaut right now. You can just look that up on YouTube. Another couple of good streaming sites on YouTube are What About It and NASA Spaceflight. Those are three of the ones that I subscribe and watch when it comes to this stuff. I'm watching Everyday Astronaut right now.
Okay, awesome. Well, really good stuff there. Keep us posted. I'm sure we will see the price in Tesla change drastically, and that will tell us that something's going on. So definitely going to keep at least one eye on Tesla here today. I know we've got just over 10 minutes before the market actually opens here. I do want to run through some of the movers here this morning. I know I'm seeing the chat. You guys are mentioning that Hollow is already going crazy here again. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. One more that I really quickly wanted to mention, Hood is popping here today. Robinhood shares are trading higher after the company reported February trading metrics. I actually caught the end of pre-market prep there. Seemed like the perception of Hood in the public is kind of changing. This is not a broker that I've ever had like personal experience with. I don't really see any reason to change to them, but really good metrics driving that higher here today. And like I said, the very small sample size that I had from this morning seems that there's more and more people that actually appreciate this broker. So worth mentioning. Go ahead.
It's a short memory, traders got a short
You got
memory.
that right.
Just think of that. The market has a short-term memory. They forgot about what happened with GME.
Yeah, that is exactly right. If you look at the daily here, almost vertical here on Hood. So short memory. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I wanted to start here with Hollow. This one's popping, microcloud hologram. You guys don't need any introduction to Hollow. This actually going to pop up and maybe challenge yesterday's intraday high. Let's look for the same type of setup that Michael just gave us on those bigger stocks, and let's see if that materializes. So in that case, we want to see if maybe we break this high, and then back test it and then get another move higher? Or do we get rejected at this high, maybe break above it, and then come back in towards that 7 handle? Let's watch this 834, 835 level here on Hollow. Joe, I know that this is one that you've watched before. Have you done anything on it today? I don't mean to put you on the spot. I know you're watching the space launch there.
No, I just recall that we had some folks in happy hour say that 10 is likely on deck. I forgot who said that, but I think it's entirely possible. The next level that I have in this right now that it was trying to get up to yesterday was about 850. It got up to 833 yesterday. So looking to see if we can test that level and break through and go up to 10. So we'll see. I'm just going to trade this as I see the setups happen. I'm not in it right now, though.
Okay, there you go. So no position here. I will probably avoid Hollow here today. That one just seems to be a little too rich for my blood. I'm actually looking at Pan W here today for a potential day trade. I'm wondering if Pan W can continue some of its upside strength here. This is obviously the last time that I traded this was a monster. I think that this is best in breed in terms of cybersecurity. I know the market was up here in the pre-market. We've really kind of come back down to balance. I feel like if the market trades up at all, I can actually kind of catch that here with Pan W. We take a look here at the daily chart. Sure looks like we set a higher low here off the most recent pullback, and it looks like we're trying to curl back up towards that 300 level. I'd love to see this get test and go above 300. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Pan W here today. Let's get back to some of those smaller ones here. I know that these are popular amongst the group. Next one here, Joe, you described these as old girlfriends, I believe, yet again. So we got a couple of them showing back up here. APM, one of them here. This did pop as high as 8. In fact, we got some 8 prints before. We were roundly rejected. We actually traded beneath the VWAP here. Looks like we're actually trying to roll over and test some more of these lows. APM, this was wild the last time that we traded this. This one I definitely want to wait out. I am not in a hurry on this one. Let's wait out and have this confirm some type of intraday bottom and give us a better entry. Either of you have any thoughts on APM?
APM?
It's just a small little kind of a junky stock, I would call it.
It's also funny. The last 2 weeks, I started trading some penny stocks. I never traded penny stock. And for some reason, for the last 2 weeks, I took a challenge to try and test them. It's actually a great success. Unfortunately, I'm saying that.
The volume's great in these things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the thing here. When the volume in the regular market or in the larger market is kind of dried up, sometimes you just go to where the volume is. And some of these micro caps have had that in spades.
Yeah, and it's kind of fairly easy to read them, right? You mark the level, the pump and dump, the classic pump and dump, just liquidity level. So I'm seeing 950 right now. I got a level at 950. So it's kind of above, like $4 above, but still, with those kind of movements, we can easily get to that with a nice, and I got, between 910 to 950. That's my area. If it will reach that today, I can definitely short that.
Yeah, and that was an area from March 8th, the last time that we talked about APM here as a group. That is exactly the level that this thing played with. On the downside here, I could easily see this coming back in towards 5. Careful, Smoke Tuna saying careful with APM, just got lots of Japanese knives. Okay, Smoke Tuna, appreciate the warning on that one.
I personally, I don't know if I'm going to be trading this one. I just don't like the how it's not barcodey, but it's the trading is kind of awkward for me right now. The float is we've already traded the float this morning, and we haven't even opened yet. It's got 2.3 million shares, so this will be no problem to move around. They also had a reverse split last year on January 23rd, so that box is checked as well. I'll just wait and see what happens with this one. I don't like the way this is looking in pre-market this morning. I think there's some better opportunities out there.
Okay, and one of those opportunities might be WIMI here. This is WIMI Hologram Cloud. Is this related to Hollow at all? You tell me. This did pop up as high as 158, really kind of come back in. The good thing here is that it's above the VWAP. Volume, not as impressive here. in terms of what I'd like to see. So we'll see here on WIMI. No, we're kind of running out of time, and the chat wants to take a look at some of these other stocks that aren't some of these smaller movers. So we'll go ahead and do that. But really quickly, I just want to mention a couple more that are gapping here. CCTG, this popped a little bit here today, had a nice volume pop in the middle of the pre-market. I'm skeptical of this. I think that this probably comes back in. Wouldn't be surprised if we printed under 4 in short order here. Another one on this list is BBAI, and this one I actually think can run here today. This is one we've seen before move. This is in the AI space. They actually just had earnings, and the earnings were not great. It sure seems to me, it looks like this stock has bottomed since that earnings, so I wouldn't be shocked if this has some juice to the upside. 321, my big spot today. If we break that to the upside, we're actually in a gap that doesn't fill to the high threes, maybe 375. So keep an eye on that for BBAI. This is another one that we've traded plenty of time before, and it looks like this is going to be on deck here today. Joe, say again?
We're launching right now.
So you're launching right now. So it'll be interesting to see how Tesla actually reacts to that. Looking,
dropping.
I was going to say, it looks like it's dropping, Michael. It's doing exactly what you had said.
One going up, the other one goes down, right?
The rocket goes up, the stock price goes down. Masterful stuff. So, okay. Keep us updated on that. I can roll through a couple of more here that are just kind of be on watch. We're going to be opening in just under 5 minutes here. LAC, this is Lithium Americas. This actually has a catalyst here. So this is popping. We're up 17.8% here in the pre-market. Lithium America shares are trading higher after the company announced that it had received conditional commitment from the U.S. Department of Energy for $2.26 billion loan under the Advanced Technology Vehicle Manufacturing Loan Program for financing the construction of the processing facilities at Thacker Pass in Nevada. So nice little PR there regarding a conditional commitment from the Department of Energy. And this driving the stock plus 18% here today. Jay, I wonder, are you looking at LAC? I can't remember if you're long this, if you're looking at this. Can't remember if you like LAC or not. Let me know. That one here popping on a pretty decent catalyst this morning. Also worth noting that AUUD, this one's pretty junky. I'd be careful with this one. This is already chopping around here in the pre-market. I probably expect some more of that in the regular session. Guess what? Shift Pixie is back. This popped, bled all of its gains back. We see this all the time with this stock. This one very difficult to trade. Trade to the upside, I would say. I'm not interested in Shift Pixie, but that is moving here today. Two more that I really quickly wanted to mention. SoundHound, this doing a really good job of holding its after hours move yesterday. Let's see if this breaks down. Downside spot about 925, maybe 920 to 925. Upside spot, maybe 1050. That would take out this double top area from the after hours session. So we'll take a look at SoundHound. Keep in mind, this has been on a monster run recently. You take a look at the daily chart here. You can see the formation that this thing's making. So be very, very careful with Sound. It's extremely extended. And then the last one here is going to be Path. This is UiPath. This is one that we've talked about a lot as an AI play. They actually reported earnings yesterday. This was all over the board too. It was down, then it was up, then it was down again. We're about flat here today. But let's see what UiPath can end up doing here. If we take a look at the daily chart, if it loads here, it actually does look primed to go higher here on the daily chart. So let's see if we can break that 28 and change. Maybe we'll have one of those moves where we break it, back test it, and then move here on Path. All right, we got just about 2 minutes till we open. Michael, any final words here for the group?
No, do your best. Tesla drop-in might be interesting also at the 166.50. That's a nice level there. And I'm looking at HOLO at around 860, 850. If it could reach that level, that will be my short.
Okay, so you're looking, that's interesting. So you're looking for a hollow short here if it can get to, I think you said 860?
Yeah.
Oh, but I got all kinds of alerts popping up here. Okay, so that would actually mean we take out the highs and then come back in. We've seen that action recently too. So, Michael, I could absolutely see that happening here. So, nice. Okay, really good stuff here. We are 45 seconds till we open. Joe, any update with Tesla?
Oh, sorry. I'm just enthralled that we're making so much progress on this flight. They actually did their booster Starship separation successfully. So I'm just that's the furthest they've gotten. They did it last time, but they had problems shortly after. So this is progress. It's looking good so far.
Okay, so progress, but the stock showing the opposite, right? So the actual launch progress not necessarily tied to the stock price.
Well, it depends. If this doesn't explode, or do an unscheduled rapid disassembly, as they like to call it, then this might turn around, or Tesla might turn around. If everything goes according to plan, I think we might see some bullishness in Tesla, possibly.
All right. That is the bell. We are open. Let's see what we can get. Good luck here today.
Good luck. Microsoft, interesting, also moves nicely right now.
Okay, let me bring up. Sorry there, Michael. There we go. Oh, this only works when I have two. Sorry about that. Don't have a scene for this one yet. So, okay, let me flip over here to Microsoft. Then we'll get the pool software open and actually make some of these trades. I'm going to wait out the first couple of the minutes, wait out the first couple minutes of the market. I beg your pardon. Wait for things to settle here. Here is Microsoft. This did pop right out of the open here, right to that 420 area.
Looking for Lithium Americas to try to get up to 7. Pretty big float compared to the other movers we usually trade, so this might take a minute.
Tesla, by the way, right out of the open, big power candle here on volume, actually going for those pre-market highs here. I've got that pre-market high about 170. We're 170 right now, 170 and change. Here we go on Tesla, that ripping out of the gate here.
There goes Lithium Americas. Holy crap!
Is that LAC?
Right through 7. Yep, right through 7 and pushing. Next level I have is just under 8. It is really moving.
LAC, big push here out of the open.
Okay, so we are getting a lot of success in this launch, and Tesla is ripping now.
Yeah.
Tesla, for me, this next spot here really has to be these pre-market highs. If it can actually take that out, this can go higher here. Otherwise, look for a little bit of a regression back to the mean.
I think Soundhound may have found support at 9. 200 EMA is right there on the 5-minute chart. Looking for it to turn around here and go positive.
Oh, come on, chart. Give me. There we go. Okay, that did bounce off that 9 level. There we go.
ARM is ripping right now. ARM.
I'm seeing calls come across the tape for Tesla, by the way. Calls for PanW as well. One of the other stocks that actually is kind of interesting here is ticker here. This is HEAR. This is Turtle Beach. Now, I have a lot of experience with Turtle Beach as a company because they've made gaming headsets and microphones for many different operating systems. In fact, the last time that I used one of their products was in the PlayStation environment. The catalyst here this morning, Turtle Beach shares trading higher after the company announced the acquisition of PDP. The company also reported Q4 financial results. Now, for me, I don't know what PDP is. I'm going to have to look into that. I will say from a personal experience, I've used this equipment before. I like this equipment. I like the company. So I'm going to that's something I'm going to look into here is the acquisition here of PDP. As far as earnings go, it looks like they missed top and bottom line here. Not the greatest miss, but the market seems to like that acquisition.
The booster for SpaceX launched today, that has successfully splashed down in the ocean according to plan. Now we still have the tests of the Starship, which is currently flying around in space to go through.
Nice. NVIDIA didn't break the high, looking pretty bearish now. If the market can push down.
Here we go on NVIDIA. Actually, I like that. That actually might make a move towards that 885, yesterday's intraday low. SPY is pulling here. So is the NASDAQ. So some things are coming back in. Market is pulling. And by the way, regarding the Palo Alto watch that I have, I got no reason to buy Palo Alto as the market is coming back in, right? Palo Alto, one of those stocks that can absolutely trade with the market. I'll wait till the market actually firms up a little bit before taking that.
ARM up $3.50 since the open. This thing is going straight up right now.
134, the pre-market high from March 12th. That was Tuesday. ARM looks to test that here today. Tesla's still dealing with that resistance. It did take that pre-market high out, but it's still kind of trading right around there. Looks like it might be trying to go higher here now on Tesla. Well, you're right, Joe. That thing is ripping.
Yeah, because we're hitting all the markers with this flight. This is really good news. Like if you're watching this flight and you see when it successfully does one of the mission parameters, then you can see the movement in the stock. It's kind of comical.
LAC pushed up to that 750 and stopped there. We'll see if that can actually break the top off there. Pixie, not really doing much of anything. Good to see.
I'm going to try to short DG.
Sorry.
DG is trying to short it. Waiting for the end of the DG, the one that we talked about it below 64, 164. Trying to short it in a minute.
Looks like SoundHound has turned up since that bounce off the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, trying to get through some of this these pre-market levels.
And DG here, I'm watching this now too, Michael. Dollar General ticker DG, this bouncing back towards that 164 level. If it stopped there, would you open up your short there at 164 looking for a downside move?
Yeah, I'll start to scale in. I'm always taking a feeler, not going all in at first, just to see that it's reacting. And then I can manage the trade easily.
Looks like there's some profit taking in Tesla.
That little bounce in DG didn't quite get back to 164, but it looks like this is trying to break lower. By the way, APM halted to the upside here. So one of those ex-girlfriends here moving right off the open, just shy of that $7 level here, ticker APM.
Hollow looks like it's got some strength, trying to get up to the 850. Looking for these big candles out of the open to kind of come back in a bit. We're seeing that with ARM. We're starting to see that with Lithium Americas, LAC, and ARM. SoundHound still trying to push up, looking good off that bounce. That would have been a good time to get it. I just noticed it a little too late. Now we're coming up to 10, close to it. Probably get some resistance here with that wall of sell orders.
DG still flirting with that 160 level. Boy, Michael, I think you're on to something there. This feels heavy. This looks like this wants to go lower to me.
It's just closed the gap from 2 days ago, or just about to close the gap from 2 days ago at 160. What is it? 161.20. So hopefully it will break it strongly and continue to the downside. If it will, then we can expect to see 159.60. Let's see.
All right. SoundHound still trying to push up to 10.
Holo getting closer to that mark.
No.
160, 860.
Holo breaking yesterday's high here. There you go, Michael. That might go right up into your area there. Ticker HOLO.
We're probably going to get a big breakout of over 10 in sound. It's just, if we keep this volume up, it's going to eat through that wall at 10. Bears are holding it up, though. And we're getting reversed. ARM's still going higher. Lithium America's still going higher. It wants 790, it looks like.
What's your level on sound?
On SoundHound, I have 1015 is the next level, but I'm looking for it to get over 10 first. There's a big number of sell orders there, and it looks like we're about to eat through it. It just keeps going up to there, and then all these bears come in and start putting up the orders to prevent it from going through. But it looks
10
like the
and
volume is too much.
1050. 10 and 1050 would be my levels there on sound. Dollar General looking like this is trying to break 160 as we speak. Boy, it's really trying at that level there.
Looks like Lithium America's peaked at 765, coming back in a little bit. Oh, hollow up to 858, pulled right back
What a
down.
drop. Yeah.
BBAI, big pullback out of the open here and bouncing so far. Here doing a good job holding it at that 1450 level. I think here probably test 15 coming up.
Did APM just now halt? Looks like it did.
No, that's been halted for a few minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Looks like we got through 10 and got up to that. How did we get here? About 1026 in Soundhound. Now we're going lower.
LAC turning around at that 750 mark that you guys were talking about. Scotty looking at Palo Alto here. Ryan, watching Pan W down to 285.57. We'll see if we get that here on Pan W. That would actually be nice. To me, I'm not going to try day trading this unless the market really kind of firms up and shows some strength. We've shown some weakness here out of the open. We'll see if Pan W firms up. Speaking of weakness, great call here, Michael. Dollar General breaking lower here, 159. We did take out that 160 to the downside here on Dollar General.
Yeah, I'm going to take a first partial here.
Awesome job paying yourself into that move. Love to see stuff like that. See, Michael, I know I put you on the spot earlier about giving us some winners, but look what you did. You did it anyway. That's what we love to see. Awesome stuff here.
Just doing my best. Tesla dropped very nicely from the top.
Yeah, it sure did.
Right back to the opening.
Yeah, right back down to that. This is the 50 SMA I have on the 5 minute. I don't think that really matters, though.
Tesla maybe try to bounce off this 168 level. APM halted again to the upside. This 770, this right near that $8 pre-market high, ticker APM.
Looks like we're getting some weakness in Lithium Americas. The support that I have is at 7. Looks like we got that provided by us in pre-market.
And by the way, Lithium America seeing some calls come in through the tape on ticker LAC. LSF, Laird Superfood. Becca mentioned this earlier here. This pushing up right out of the open, little bit of a pullback. Looks like it's trying to curl here, ticker LSF.
Soundhound really getting hit hard now.
Dollar General bouncing a little bit off that 160 level. Let's see if this actually slows down and reverses. Nice job, Michael, on that initial trade there, paying yourself.
Yeah, nice reverse on that move. Yeah. I love to see that sound drop from here, because if it will return to the 1050, all the way, I got it from 1050 to 1085. So if it will return to that level, it gives us more conviction that it will drop.
That's amazing. We have the same levels. 1085 is the next level I have if it can get back up through that. Well, I had 1015, but pretty close.
Technical analysis is fun, isn't it?
It's wonderful because technical analysis, we tend to agree more because we're all seeing the same thing.
Exactly. The world should be technical analysis. Right?
I would agree with that. Just rolling through some of these tickers here.
Yep, doing the same thing.
UiPath struggling after the opening print here. UiPath down to the lows, actually breaking yesterday's lows.
ARM putting in a high of 134.50, kind of slowing down. So we'll see if this is the topping out point for the time being.
EGY, nice move here out of the gate. Valco Energy shares trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 financial results. So earnings really driving this one. Jay, I know that you were mentioning Lyft as kind of a really good 2024 turnaround story. Lyft having a good day yesterday, off to another great start here today. Looks like a 19 test coming here on Lyft. Actually, this chart to me, this sure looks like this wants to break out here. We actually have the bottom of a gap at about 2278. If we can get back up there, that gap doesn't fill till 30. So keep Lyft on your watch list here. Lyft looking pretty good this morning. This is a good call here, Jay. Jay also mentioning on Tesla here, they couldn't wait to sell it. Michael kind of told us the same thing, right? The last time Spaceline, I know it was a different company, but man, right out of the open here, we had that nice move up here, nothing but sells since then.
Exactly. On pre-market, on SPC, pre-market, that was up roughly $2,000. 5 minutes into the session, like after the opening bell, I was down like 5 or maybe 10. So that's similar to what we see right now, maybe very similar at least.
And actually now Tesla trying to bounce off that pre-market low area here. We'll see how strong this bounce actually is.
And one of the things about SPCE is that we had no idea when the next launch was going to be. I don't even know if they've had a launch since then, have they?
I don't think so, no.
Virgin Galactic? Yeah, because and there's the other thing was I think that was a big sell the news event because where's the revenue going to come from? Are they going to be doing these launches frequently? Who's going to be buying these launches? Because they're my understanding is they're pretty expensive. So there's just a lot of question marks there. And I think there was a lot of people were just selling that news.
Scotty, take a look at PanW here. I think your level was what? 285.57, 285.57 up here on PanW. Let's see if we bounce from this area.
Nice move on Nvidia now, dropping, breaking pre-market low.
MDAI, very slow mover, but it's been up and still going up.
Here you go on Nvidia. That did take out that pre-market low. Remember, the next spot that I'm looking at here as far as the lows is going to be yesterday's intraday low. Got that at about 884.50 on Nvidia. Lynn mentioning that JMIA just had a squawk about it. So Charlie mentioning something here on JMIA. I don't have my squawk on JMIA trading up to the highs here on volume. I wonder what that squawk was. Let me see if I can track that down for us.
This is the Amazon of Africa, right?
Yeah. Don't see anything on here. That might have just been a quick squawk. Don't see anything in the log there for it. Thanks, though, for calling that, Lynn.
Yep.
Dollar General bouncing back to its VWAP. That's ticker DG. Voodoo, good stuff here. You're going to get a register ring for that one. Clear Tesla, short, quick scalp for a half point. 3-minute trade, tough on the entries, though, as the chop is fierce. Yeah, we talked about that. Market actually moving lower here, by the way. SPY printing 515s. SPY, Dow, NASDAQ, all at the lows here. Big pull on Netflix as well. Big pull on Netflix. Oops.
Lithium America's below 7 and falling.
Thank you, David and Lynn. No news, just mentioning the spike. That is really, really helpful. Really, really helpful, actually.
Yeah,
that was a move on volumes. Sorry, 13. Go ahead.
No, I was just mentioning there's probably like a tweet or something out there that the news is reacting to, or the JMIA is reacting to.
So, guys, this is my cue to go. I got a meeting in a few minutes, so I got to run, but I will definitely keep waiting for that hollow and sound if they will bounce back. Also, still watching NVIDIA. Looks great for the downside to me, maybe for the rest of the day. Next support for me is 870 or 871. So plenty of room to the downside on NVIDIA for me.
Yeah.
Just looking for the pullbacks.
I'm with you on that,
Great.
Michael. Great stuff. Again, really appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back again. I tell you what,
Thanks so
can
much.
we get some likes for Michael here,
Yeah.
who just does nothing but bring
Thanks,
us
guys.
winners and good information?
Appreciate
We
it.
really appreciate that, my man.
Thanks for
Thanks so
coming,
much,
Michael.
guys. It was great, like always. Appreciate it.
Have a great
Bye for
rest
now.
of your day, folks. That is Michael from Trade the Pool. Now you see why we like these guys so much. They just help everybody else out. Smash up that like for Michael. We will try to keep bringing him on as much as we can. Really appreciate it. Let's get back to the action here. What are you looking at? 13.
Well, I'm just noticing the SQQQ is really taking off right now. I had a big green candle on the 5-minute chart. So looks like tech's having a bad day.
Sure does. Trying to keep an eye on some of these movers here too. This NVDS, we've talked about this one, this bear ETF, levered ETF for NVIDIA. This might be popping here today.
Okay, so we're knocking on the door of $11 for the SQQQ. I don't have a large position in the SQQQ, but I did pick up a tiny bit yesterday, just because it was looking a little, the SPY was looking a little weak. Thought,
well,
let's start a position.
Well, good job here, Joe, because the SPY is really kind of coming in. How is SQQQ? Do these things need to be reversed? I know okay, SQQQ 20-cent move here. I know we talked about SOXS quite a bit. That really does need a reverse split.
Yeah, I don't think I know about it, but I just don't think I've ever traded that one.
And tech, indeed, looking weak here, man. The SQQQ pounding the highs here. Pan W went right through Scotty's level there. That was what, 285.50-ish, something right in there. That continuing to trade down here, Pan W. Let's see what we do if we get to yesterday's intraday low. That actually is the same level as the previous day's intraday low. I got that level down here about 281. 281. Jay, you know what? That actually reminds me, I should probably put the Players Championship on here. How's that going? Any surprises? Any hole-in-ones at the Island Green yet? They might not be there yet. SOXS actually hitting the scanner here. The move, yeah, that market's still pounding the lows here. Let me see.
Yeah, it's all NVIDIA. They're down the most.
Yep.
There's only 3 of the 7 Mag 7s down today. Apple, Google, Microsoft. Well, now Netflix just turned slightly red, but those others that I just mentioned are up. All right. What you got for us, Mark? Wow, SoundHound really just taking a beating now.
SMCI, I would imagine, is the same story as NVIDIA. Yep. Pounding those lows.
All right, looks like ARM is coming back in a little bit. Maybe this sets up for another move up if it can hold. Let's say if we can hold 132. We'll just say that it needs to hold that level. We'll just say that.
Okay, Rory, Kuchar, and Cantlay -3. Okay, awesome. My parlay, I've got Rory and Cantlay finishing in the top 20, so I love to hear that early on. Also got Scotty in there as well. Good stuff.
Also,
appreciate that.
Sorry for interrupting. But
No, you're
Hollow
fine. You're fine.
Is also going lower pretty quickly.
Look, when we're just yapping over here about golf, you can interrupt with stock stuff anytime. This is a stock trading show. I just really love my golf. That's all.
Yeah, it's just on principle of interrupting someone who's talking.
I gotcha. Hollow looked like that's pounding the lows here. Let's check in on the Dollar General trade that Michael gave us. I actually took this here. Let's see if we break those lows here. So here, real quick, this really great trading action. Michael gave you the setup earlier, right? Michael gave you the setup. It was perfect. We actually broke down through that 160 here. We traded back up towards the VWAP, found resistance there. Now it's nothing but sells. Let's see if we crack this. Some more downside here. Ticker DG, Dollar General. It's looking pretty good.
Apparently there's some kind of a loss of signal with the Starship, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see Tesla continue to go lower.
Yeah, Tesla 165, your low print there. It looks like it's trying to bounce. We'll see if that firms up here. Wiz saying, Ryan, I'll be on the 17th hole on Saturday. Wiz, pictures or it didn't happen? pictures or it didn't happen, you can email them to me. That is awesome. I'm super, super jealous that you are going to be on the 17th, my man. Good stuff.
All right, looks like EGY is trying to take the next leg up.
I'm gonna flip over here to trade the pool, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't have this on earlier. It only works when we have two cameras. When we have the guest on here, it was a little bit more difficult. As you can see, I followed Michael's plan. I literally followed him into that. Added a little bit on the move back to the VWAP here on Dollar General. This now I want to see this come in towards that 157, 156. Ticker DG.
Wow, the SPY is really, really selling off.
Scotty says this selling has some weight. Yeah, it does, man. All the indices across the board are selling here. Feel pretty good about my short position. Look, This is what we said on PanW. Want to see if it trades with the market. Well, guess what? Market is just pounding lows. So far, PanW doing the same thing.
I mean, if we can get some kind of corrective move here in the broader market, I think that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, me too. How long have we been waiting for that, 13? I'll take that.
Since October.
Yeah, since October. Good call there. Voodoo. Ryan, I'm up 7 points on PGA bet, on DraftKings, a fantasy bet. Oh, I gotta come to you for those bets, Voodoo. Awesome stuff there. Come on, Dollar General. Let's pull a little bit more. Let's pull with the market a little bit more here. Let's see if I can get...
It looks like SPY's trying to bounce on off that weakness, but I think this is just going to, consolidate and then go lower. We'll see if that's what happens.
8 p.m., boys. Let's take a look here at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is open. This moved back down to the VWAP, trying to go higher. Actually took out those highs here. New high print on 8 p.m. Let's see. What do I got that right up here at what? 880. Oh, come on. Stop recentering.
Yeah, 880.
It doesn't say on here. Okay, so 880. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it looks like it wants 9. Okay, just kind of looking around. Lots of red today. Yeah, I don't know about hollow. I think this looks like it might be headed lower.
8 p.m., the strong, smaller name here. Let's take a look here at hollow. Oh, yeah, that's coming in.
But it does look like EGY could move up. Just need a little bit more expansion in the volume, and we could start to move again. But this looks okay. It's holding these levels here, so we'll see if it can stay up here. We've got VWAP. I have VWAP at about 530.
Right. Sorry, I'm looking around here, taking care of some BZ stuff.
Yeah. Just looking for some setups here. There's some, but I want to see that volume. What's everybody else seeing? What was the 8 p.m. catalyst? I didn't see any news.
I didn't either, if I recall correctly. Sorry, almost done here.
Let's look at some of these names. Okay, so DWAC still getting whacked. I don't even know why I'm looking at that. I think that's not on deck for today until we get some more election news.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Should be all set now here.
What the heck happened to JMIA? Did that one get smacked down? Okay, yeah, it certainly did. And we didn't have news on that.
JMIA. Well, there was, that I think that was just a volume pop, right? We didn't really get any news on that.
Yeah.
Nothing accompanying that. Here.
Well, we got the signal back from Starship, so we're looking at that thing doing a maneuver. I'm not really sure that.
I'm just going to roll through some more of these here. Dollar General popping back to the VWAP there. A break and a hold above the VWAP will be a stop out for me on Dollar General. We would really have to break and hold that, though. Haven't done that yet. LAC, we mentioned that earlier here. LAC moving down from that 750 high. Boy, that would have been a great short there. Wonder if Michael took that one.
Looks like a lot of things are a great short today.
Yeah, I mean, this market keeps pushing down here. We'll see if we get any type of bounce. But ticker SIGA, another one of these smaller names. This was one from the other day here. This is actually popping to the highs here. 676, your high.
Very is moving all right.
Yeah, that moved right off its VWAP. That was nice there. Wimmy, okay. This one flirting with its VWAP here. If it can break above, this might be something worth watching here.
Okay, and SPY now taking the next leg lower. Looks like it's trying to get support from Tuesday's level here of about 513.50. VERI looks like it's trying to push up through 260. It's got a nice setup, and if we get some expansion in volume here, we're probably going to move up pretty well, maybe up to about 280.
Let's see what Pixie is doing here. Nothing as usual. APM getting heavy up here right around 850.
Yeah, it looks like Pixie is trying to turn around here, but they do have some EMAs they need to punch through. Very slow moving. You see some expansion in volume. EGY, I think it's going to try to make a new high here in just a bit.
Would really love a pullback towards that VWAP on EGY as opposed to an upside break here at the top end of that range.
Yeah, it's really feeling like I'm just going to have to let SQQQ ride for a little while. A lot of things just breaking down. I need to wait for some setups.
Let's see if 513.50 is any type of support here for SPY. Not yet. This we'll see here if we bounce right here. 513.50. If we bounce, let me bring SPY up so we can take a look at that. Love a good pullback in SPY. We could really use that. Really use that here. VIX about 1432. Some green in the VIX for the first time in a while. Eli Lilly continuing to drop as well.
Rise, VIX, rise.
CCTG. This is curling right back to the VWAP. Got VWAP here 429 on CCTG.
How's this one been behaving? This is okay. We've traded this before.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is just, I still think this is kind of junky though.
Most of these things are.
Yep.
But man, do they move. All right, looks like EGY made that new high I was looking for. But it's
MDGL off the bottom here, right to its VWAP, but does not have the strength to get above it.
ARM trying to find support.
Hood, maybe this has found an intraday bottom.
I think that might have been a pretty good call on that support level in SPY. Looks like they were trying to put in a reversal candle here.
Yeah, that 513.50.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, let's see if it holds though, because we've been nothing but selling from the open here.
Right.
Tesla, by the way, is Tesla looks like maybe this is trying to bounce down here. What level did we have in there? Was this one of your 165 on Tesla?
Well, if I had Apple get down there, I'd be pretty happy about that. But let's see what I got here, because I don't think that was one of my levels in Tesla. It might have been. Let's see. I mean, it already broke through a lot of levels. What's up?
Oh, I'm just laughing at the troll comment in the chat. The one about DJ Ukulele being better than Caleb Williams. It's just, I see, the thing here is that, like, behind the scenes at Benzinga, we have such an amazing cast of characters. And Jake Crandall has really kind of built himself up to be, to have all these really horrific football takes. And they're incredibly entertaining, and it actually makes the day go by faster. We're all grateful and better from working with Jake. So I love that he comes in here and adds to what we're trying to do here. Tesla continuing to bounce.
Tesla is bouncing. It's looking like it's going down. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me.
It's trying to. It's trying to. It really hasn't firmed up yet here, though. DG, okay, by the way, that trade looking pretty good so far. Let's see if this can crack more to the downside. Definitely have some air down here. We can break that 158, 159. I want to snap that to the downside.
Looks like LAC is going to 6.
Let's take a look at LAC, ticker LAC. This is trying to slow down here on the downside.
Yeah. It looks like it's trying to come back up, but it's got some pretty big resistance just over 650. So if it can get through that, then it might return. But at the moment, it looks like it's headed towards 6.
Look at that EGY breaking out of the top end of that range here. EGY trying to go higher.
Mm-hmm. Just, we need more volume in that thing. But it is putting in a good move. But it's not going to go very far on this low volume. Looks like ARM's trying to recover, but it's up to VWAP. Let's see if we can get back over it.
Yeah, it's trying.
Oh, there it goes.
It's trying to move. How's APM doing? APM still holding above its VWAP there.
Let's see.
Let's check the Twitter streets. Don't have a whole lot here. I am liking the sell-off here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, can't lay lip to that birdie putt out. That is rough.
Looks like CCTG is trying to get going here.
Yeah, it sure is. Right through the VWAP. That was a nice curl off that 360 level. CCG.
Is CCTG about to halt?
Oh, CCTG, excuse me.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Excuse me.
It looked like it was about to halt. It just had no price action, and there was a whole bunch of orders stacking up.
Pan W, by the way, bounced off 283.60.
Yeah, it looks like CCTG does want to try to go higher here, but looks like VERI might make a move over that high it put in a few moments ago. There it goes, putting in new high now.
362. Yeah, that was a nice rip there. By the way, any of you, I know Smoke Tuna was all over CCTG.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you that took this one, let's ring that register. Great job. Be sure to pay yourself into this rip. Some more size here, 460 on CCTG. Again, if you took this from anywhere lower, please don't let that trade go red on you. Great job.
It looks like EGY is headed higher as well, just very slowly.
That was a good call on that upside break there, 13. That's exactly what we were waiting for. By the way, Pan W now. Let's take a look at Pan W here. 286. This is moving back to VWAP. The curl here is good, but I don't want to be enticed into buying this unless the market really kind of shows some strength. I know we are bouncing off that 513.50 at least so far, but let's see if this ends up holding up here. I would much rather try and trade this on the back of a really good day, not so much a day that's been pretty weak right out of the gate.
I almost feel like some of these big moves up are just going to get immediately sold. I think it's worth being very careful today on some of these big moves up. Don't get in, if they've already been running. Maybe wait for some pullback.
Yeah.
VERI, making new highs still. Basically, the ones that are working out pretty well are CCTG, VERI, and EGY. Lithium America's trying to come back. Still not sure about that one. ARM, as Brett mentioned, really starting to curl up, and it's coming back up to the highs it put in earlier this morning.
ARM making a move towards those highs there.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Starship's trying to splash down in the Indian Ocean.
How's Tesla doing here? Yeah, we are. Tesla back to the VWAP too.
Sorry for all the silence. Just trying to.
Yeah, I'm flipping through stuff. Very up to the highs here as well. Still long that Dollar General short trade though. That's working out. Michael he gets it done. What can I say? Michael gets it done. BBAI. This is another one you folks are taking a look at here. This is Big Bear. This is actually making a move lower here. This interesting. You know what though, Rick? We take a look at this 15-minute chart. We pretty much came into these lows here, right? 230. I've got these lows at multi-day lows on here. If Big Bear can hold this, maybe we get a bounce from this spot. If it can't, though, I think it probably breaks and goes lower. I think a 2 test probably on deck here. 196 is your 100-day moving average.
Just watching.
Pi has been a beast since insider buying in the 50s. Is that like a Pi Day joke? Because today's Pi Day. Am I getting that right, Jay? Or is this just serendipitous that ticker Pi is ripping on Pi Day? Has been a beast since the insider buying in the 50s. One of my better ones. Yeah, I mean, this is 127, Jay. This is almost a triple. Great. You're going to get a register ring for that one. That's for sure. And you're going to get a 1-up for trading Pi on Pi Day. How about that? How about that?
ARM,
it done.
ARM new highs. That was good. That was a good mention there, Brett. That thing really did move out of.
Yeah, it sure did.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the next one. Looks like VERI wants to be next, but I just, the volume just needs to expand, kind of like that. There we go.
CCTG came back into its VWAP. I see some size here at 444.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like 438 it has some more, but they're actually taking that 438 one. There it goes.
This looks like it's going higher.
There it goes.
Oh yeah, probably going to go up to 460 and maybe find a rejection there. Let's see.
Rick asking, why would you know it's Pi Day? Well, it's Pi Day, PI, which is 3.141. Today is March 14th, so it's 3.14. So it's Pi Day. And actually, here.
We're definitely not nerds here.
No, I am for sure a nerd. Don't get it twisted, okay?
Same here.
I was going to say,
I'm watching the spaceship fly.
Don't get it twisted. I am absolutely a nerd. Let me show you one of my favorite things that I have for Pi Day here.
Wow. We're getting
ready for this?
Starship re-entry, and it looks amazing.
March 14th, 314. Pi, if you put it in a mirror. Happy Pi Day, folks. Let's all bake a pie. Alyssa? Yes.
You know what?
I don't even need to know what kind. Just yes.
What's your favorite pie?
Mine?
Yeah.
Chocolate pecan.
Okay.
Chocolate pecan pie, a little bit of bourbon in it. Oh, good Lord.
I'm very much a berry person. I like blueberry and boysenberry pie.
I like fruit pies as well. No question.
CCTG really starting to get going here. This thing could have a lot more legs. Let's see what we get.
Oh, David, pizza pie. Now we talking. CCTG, man. What a move back down to the VWAP that was. I should have traded that. Honestly, I should have traded that. That was a really good move. Grats if you guys have that one again. I would make sure you pay yourself.
Yep. Looks like starting to get some selling pressure. And EGY also getting some selling pressure. ARM just on the verge of 135. That was a big pull on CCTG after hitting 472.
Oh my God, nasty. Took out those new highs. Didn't even just go to VWAP, went beneath it. Alexander K. You asked what kind of the favorite pie was. Banana cheesecake is Alexander's answer here.
I'm going to have to write that one down. Never heard that one before, but that sounds interesting. Oh, wow. ARM right through 135 and almost at 136. Now went through 136. This thing is taking off.
AISP setting up. Glenn, good to see you this morning, Glenn. AISP, let's see. This is curling, going right back to the VWAP here.
So APM is the halt fest today, apparently. STI.
APM halts to the downside here, right through the VWAP.
STI is another slow mover, but it has been moving up pretty well. I don't know why I even have this one. It usually goes under $1. I don't like to have that on my watch list. Oh man, what is setting up very well. Looks like we're getting some curling in a lot of these names. Soundhound looks like they're curling.
Let me bring Soundhound up. That one's been a big one for us. Okay, look at Dollar General now. This is why we have that patience, right? Dollar General breaking that area, accelerating to the downside here. This trade moving even more into the green. You love to see it. I'll tell you what. Michael's really spot on with his points. And yep. I know that even on days when I'm bearish and I don't necessarily have a really good short outlook on some of these stocks, it really behooves me to step outside of my comfort zone, because this, to me, today, the easier trade was the bigger name to the short side after watching the market. It's not some of these littler names that I've been struggling with here this week. So big shout out to Michael. Smash up the like, trade the pool, Michael, 13, Tesla. We're having a great day here.
Yeah, we'd like to see the market fly like a rocket, but hey, it can fly down.
I thought you were about to say fly like an eagle and start busting into a smooth R&B song. I thought for sure that was coming there.
Oh no.
You're like, no, that's not what I'm going to do.
There's limits to how much I'll embarrass myself. Vocals are not my strong point.
I was going to say, I haven't encountered that limit.
No, and you may never. Let's see here. What's that? Asking about Cooler. That one, one of these days, Cooler might get back above $1, but I think they have. I think they have an agreement with the New York or the NYSE to stay listed until next year.
Born, good to see you this morning, Born. Okay, that launch and flight was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's go. Dollar General continuing to pound lows, volume expanding to the downside here. Let's go.
Looks like VERI wants to go a little bit higher. Just need a little bit of expansion in that volume, as I'm always talking about, and then we'll get it. Soundhound coming up to VWAP. It's currently resistance. ARM coming back in a little bit.
People double signs are crushed on a pipe. Oh, Rick's throwing out pie recipes. And this is going to get dangerous here today, folks. People double smashed as a crushed on a pie pan, chocolate vanilla pudding layered, topped with whipped. Dude, now see, I'm gonna be in big trouble. I gotta And I can't really like go out and walk because it's an absolute tempest here in the Chicago region. And it's soaking wet outside. Dollar General working here, though. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh, look at there goes VERI, new highs. Got that volume. I don't even think I put in levels for this yet. But maybe we go up to the high from yesterday, which was $3.06, probably $3.07 in somebody else's broker.
VERI at the highs. 280's got a little bit of size here, VERI.
Yeah, but look at all those folks trapped at 3 that won out.
Jay, this is an interesting one. Everyone parking in Microsoft. That's why the Qs are holding up. So if we bring up the Microsoft chart here, it's a big component. So Jay bringing up a really good point here. This is awesome. All right, we're seeing a sea of weakness, a lot of red out there. Microsoft here is green. Jay, I got to agree with you. I got to agree with you. I think you're absolutely right on this. This is a great call.
I think he's right too. It's the
Me
biggest.
too.
It's the biggest. It has the most gain today compared to the other Mag 7s.
Look at this. Dollar General continuing to come in here. This looking really, really good. Want to close this trade here. We were looking for 155, 156. We've currently got 154. So this actually looking pretty good here on Dollar General. Let's see if we snap that 154.
ARM coming in back down to VWAP. Let's see if we can hold that. Lithium America is still trying to turn around. EGY put in a new high recently. If it can hold up here, it might go higher. VERI, new high at 281. I still think that if we get up to 3, it's going to run into some selling pressure and have some problems. And CCTG could be finding a reversal spot here, and it could go higher. It's beneath VWAP at the moment, but if we turn around and get some volume, we could push back above it.
Okay, I'm going to close Dollar General right here. Gains booked, big time short. That worked awesome. I cannot wait to see Michael again and thank him for the trade here. Green on the screen, 1 for 1 today. Nice short there. Dollar General, that trade is wrapped up. All right, back on the good side, on the wagon. What's the term here? On the rocket ship? I don't know. I don't know, man. Interestingly enough, Jay mentioned Microsoft just a moment ago. If we take a look at Apple actually having a decent day here too amidst the sea of red. Does look like the market may be rolling over here again.
Yeah.
Amazon at the highs as well, by the way. Amazon continuing to push higher here. Love Amazon.
Yeah, it's kind of got a bear flag formation, or maybe a bear pin happening here on the 5-minute chart with SPY after that drop that we saw this morning at about 9:45. Starting to put in that formation. So we could be going lower here.
Voodoo saying, Ryan, good trade here on Dollar General. Wish I could take credit for that. I generally don't watch Dollar General. Michael put that on my radar here this morning, and the plan that he gave literally just kind of worked the way that he said. So I'm going to have to give him credit. I did execute it well, though. Execution has been something I've been struggling with recently. Very glad to see that working here. Dollar General, by the way, continuing to trade lower here.
All right, looks like CCTG is trying to turn around here.
See if we can reclaim that VWAP on CCTG.
That's it. Very good, all the way up to 281, 282 almost. Still think it's going to try to get to 3 and make all those bag holders happy.
We shall see. I'd like to see CCTG pop through that VWAP and then make a run at those intraday highs here. Now, remember, the last time that we set a new intraday high, we got that wicked pullback right through that VWAP.
Yep. So it'd be one of those things where you can pay yourself up.
Absolutely.
On the way up.
Absolutely. Look at a couple of other stocks here off the relative volume scanner. WIMI. This was one that we took a look at here in the pre-market. This actually looking like it's trying to retake the VWAP there. Some size. VWAP's at 148. Size right above at 150. On WIMI, ticker WIMI.
MINM, mini-me, slow-moving one, but been moving up. Currently trying to get over 675. If we see some volume expansion in this, it could go up to 7. Just something I'm looking at there, but we'll see what happens. VERI coming back in. Same thing with EGY, just not so much. CCTG still trying to get over VWAP. AISP looking for 1057, says Glenn. Let me take a look at AISP. I think we'll get 1057, and then it'll just Hindenburg again
On AISP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to get 1057 here today. Let's see though. That's still over $1 away.
It can move pretty easily. I mean, it moved over $1 down to 805, and now we're over $1 back up.
Glenn is on this one. All right, 13. Give me 1 sec here. I'm going to be RB. Okay.
Absolutely. Becca looking at LSF and HOLO. Looking at Dollar General there for that bounce. Let me see here. What's with LSF? Okay, getting an EMA crossing VWAP soon. That might be a good sign for this one. Looking for still short on CCTG. Okay. Hollow trying to move up again. Let me take a look at that one. Where do I have Hollow? I'll just type it in. Yeah, I currently have VWAP at about 775 on my broker, so we could end up trading up to there and might have some trouble, but we'll see if we can get the volume. It's looking like it is curling, so it could get through that. What else? Beamer setting up. Let's take a look at BMR. Oh, well, it looks like it already made that move.
All right. Sorry about that, 13.
No worries. Look at BMR with that big move
Beamer?
that it just made. Oh, yeah.
Beamer, let's do it.
Somebody hit the gas on the Beamer.
Okay. Here we go. Actually, you know what's awesome about this? That is a total break right out of that. A nice clean break there, right? Nice clean break there at what, 780? Yeah. Nice. Glenn, weren't you trading Beamer? Yeah, I feel like you hit this several times on the recent day that it went wild. I feel like Glenn's been on Beamer for a while here. Did the scroll up to my call? So that is a yes.
So ARM is currently holding above VWAP at the moment. If it can get support here, it'll probably reverse. And it might be trying to do that now. Hollow still struggling to get back up to VWAP. LSF, that one looks like this
Becca's call from this morning.
That one looks like it's already starting to go. It looks like it wants to take out that 244 from this morning.
I'm with you on that. LSF, Bex, this was a great call.
And so it's Beamer. That thing went up to 885. Getting some pullback now, but let's see what happens with this one. It's above all my levels. Let me take a look at this on the daily chart because I'm.
Yeah, which one? I'll look at it too. I'll give you some levels.
I was just looking at Beamer.
Oh, Beamer.
Yeah.
We talked about several stocks there, so I just want to make sure I get that correct here.
No worries.
Beamer here for levels here. I'll start 13, and I'd be happy to turn this over to you here in a sec. Here is what I've got on the daily chart here for Beamer. Now, it looks like we really just kind of moved up off that 50-day moving average thereabouts. I've got the 500-day here at 1161. I do actually have this area right in here, bottom of this candle, top of this other impulse move here. Let's call this 895.9. That 9 level might be a level in there. We're about to test that, less than 30 cents away. We break that, I see a lot of air up to 1161 and then more air up to 1570.
Wow. Well, I was putting in those levels and then you set them. So I think that's sound about right to me.
Okay, I'll take that. I will take that. That works.
Technical analysis.
Hey man, it is sweet. It is sweet. We got Glenn out here doing it as well.
It looks like those names that we were all mentioning before are starting to roll over. Hollow is still pushing back up to VWAP. Very coming down. EGY getting weaker.
So let's see where Dollar General. So it looks like, okay, so we'll try and tighten this up. Excuse me. It looks like Dollar General bounced off what? 151.5 here. I sold at 154.5. So I was off by about 3 points on Dollar General in terms of ideal area to close, at least so far. We'll see if it ends up going lower here. Still really happy with the trade, the process, and the execution. And again, can't thank Michael enough for putting that one on the radar here. This is what we do this is what makes communities great. Like Michael's not going to be able to be like, here, Ryan, I'm going to push the buttons for you and make some money, but he's going to show me a setup and I'm going to say, that actually looks pretty good. I might take that. And can be the result of it. So awesome stuff. That's exactly what I want to see out of a community trading environment.
Yeah. And Beamer just, it took out, it went up to 9.
Yeah. That 9, 10 level, a key level here on Beamer. Glenn, you might get your area here on Beamer.
Yep. Looks like the chat's talking about, well, Carmen and Sydney are talking about meds.
Let's take a look.
Sure.
Let's take a look. So med's not really doing a whole lot here. After yesterday's sell-off and given the weak market here today, I suppose it's really good that it's kind of holding in here. Don't really see a whole lot happening, though, on meds.
I think this is one of those really low floaters that can move around pretty easily. Let me take a look here. 881,000 shares. So, and here's the thing. We haven't really traded a whole lot at all. Only 67,000 shares traded today. So, spready price action a bit. I mean, like right now, there's about, 80-cent spread in the price. So, very careful with that. It looks like CCTG is trying to come back up. Beamer is just, it's just absolutely ripping right now. And I think you're right. We're going to probably see that 11. What you said you had 1170 or 1180? I have 1180.
Yeah, here. No. Let me get you the exact number. It's the 500-day moving average on the daily chart. I've got that. Okay. Oops. I've got that at 1161, 1161. Gotcha.
That's a swing trade. Okay.
Here, let me see if I can redo this. Thinking about it, saying, what did he see on the DG trade that made him want to short it? Okay, let me review this here real quick. And again, he just told me once. I don't have like a reference to go off of, so apologies in advance if I get something slightly incorrect based off what he said, but I can explain the general thought process here. Here is Dollar General on the daily chart. Dollar General, of course, trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 financial results. One of the things that he factored into his trade is, what is the market doing? Market definitely had some weakness here early on. I know it was up in the pre-market, but kind of showing some weakness towards the end of the pre-market, and then obviously right out of the open. Michael said at the open here, or when he first started talking, I beg your pardon, that his bias was bearish. So he felt more comfortable looking for trades to the downside. However, he always wants to set up a trade plan to see which way he could trade it depending on what the stock does, right? So he had a plan for the upside and a plan for the downside. If we take a look inside this chart here, you can see that it was this 164 level that really was the key for him, right? What he wanted to see is while we were in the pre-market here, he noticed that we used it as support once, and then again near the end of the pre-market, said to himself, well, if this breaks down between or from 194, let me see if I can actually, do we have arrows here? We should. Where are those? Arrow marker. Okay, so if we break this 164, then he wants to see a retest. Let me get that again. Then he wants to see a retest of that 164 before finally taking the move down, which is exactly what we saw. So and I'm sorry about all these arrows. I'm going to clear them off so this doesn't look so messy, but just so you can understand the actual action here, was looking for a breakdown of 164, which he got right here. It continued to break down. Then he looked for a retest of 164, which he got right here. Then when that failed, that breakdown was the trade. Now, here's the other interesting thing. Let me hide some of these other arrows here, or some of these other indicators here. Let's go ahead and add the VWAP back because I want to show you something else cool that happened with this trade. All right. So on that retest that he talked about, this squiggly blue thin line, that's the VWAP. Look what this thing did. It traded right back up, not only to that level, but also to that VWAP, was rejected and went lower. That was the trade there.
Yeah, Glenn, I think you're right about Airship. This is looking better and better. It's getting above all the EMAs, above VWAP now, looking good. Just need to make its way through that pre-market supply. It's almost there.
Here is Airship. You were right about that one. What was the level that Glenn had on Airship? Or what was it? Was it Glenn? I'm sorry if I misquoted the name.
I don't remember what his levels were.
I think he said 1050 or 1070. 1050 or 1070. Remind me, I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah, it looks like CCTG is really wanting to get above VWAP and make a good move here.
Rory with a great tee shot on the island green. Whew. Okay, sorry, 13. I'm sorry for being distracted.
Don't worry. It's I'm just mentioning Beamer. It's coming back in down to VWAP, so probably going to get a opportunity to get some here before it goes back up. It looks like it's trying to go back up right now. So there you go.
Glenn saying 1057 was his spot. I've got that marked here with my crosshair on the chart. Glenn, you might get that, man. That might be a masterful call, honestly. Okay, so that was Beamer that you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
And we're starting to get some of these. It looks like JMIA is trying to recover and go higher. It's at my VWAP right now, trying to push
JMI. Yeah, I took AI. I got AI on the brain.
AI.
You tell me the right ticker, and I still managed to type in the wrong one. I know I got a focus issue coming on. Come on.
JMIA. What, AI?
That's literally what happened, though. Sometimes you just got to make fun of yourself.
Oh, I do it all the time. I'm rather goofy.
Let's see what Rustam is saying here. I'm at Pepsi Delivery, and here a can costs 50 cents for team. They say they grow and more sell anybody by Rustam. I'm sorry, my man. I don't know what you're asking here.
I've owned Pepsi stock before. I don't own it now because it had a massive run since the pandemic. I'm in Coke now, but Pepsi, they don't just make drinks. They have a whole bunch of other products, and that's probably a better reason to own it than just because of the cost of their soda. I think haven't we talked about Pepsi being more about like the actual snack food? Is that Frito-Lay? Am I mixing that up? Hang on a sec. It might be. I always get which one's Coke and Pepsi own.
And I don't want to. I know I'm gonna mess this up here. Yeah, Frito-Lay, Pepsi. Yes, okay. Frito-Lay, Pepsi. Yep. Frito-Lay is an American subsidiary of PepsiCo. Now, like Frito-Lay, those snacks generally do better internationally, so I think this might be a better play on that.
VERI coming back up, making a big move away from VWAP. And coming back in now, as I just said that. But hey, at least you guys can look at it. Beamer still trying to find support from this move back down.
Let me get my scanner back up here. I want to see what the scanner's telling us.
Oh, that's a big
APM, which was halted earlier. What's that doing now? That curling back up towards the VWAP. APM. EGY, this is another one that we mentioned earlier. Uh-oh. That's starting to fall out here.
And IDAI is had a big green candle just now.
Okay.
Not sure what's going on with this one, but hopefully we get some more upside in this.
Yeah, this one was brutal yesterday, man. The sell-off right at the close actually took this into penny stock territory.
Yeah. Show did.
Rustam, you are always part of the community. Anyone that joins here is part of the community. That's what's so great about this community.
Yeah, and sorry if we can't get to everybody's comments. Sometimes the feed just goes up too fast, and we're just looking at stocks.
Yep. But you know what that means? That means that we have a whole bunch of awesome people joining us and participating, and that's exactly what we want to see. Yep. Smash up the like for our team, for our community. You people on Twitter have absolutely been bringing the heat on a daily basis. We love to see it. Frankly, the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. Hit that like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, consider coming over to YouTube to hit that like and subscribe. We'll get you some of those notifications, and we will continue to try and provide trading opportunities on a daily basis. IDAI, by the way, Joe, right after that power candle that you mentioned, right here at 115, little bit of size at this level. Does it take it? We shall see.
I want to see it destroy 134 again.
Zinger Nation, baby. Born I second, third, and fourth.
I like that BMR is holding above VWAP. That's a good sign. Good sign for upside. Let's see. Looks like VERI still wants to go and make new highs too. So that's happening probably in a matter of minutes.
Oh my God, that chip from Cantlay. If I had one of those in my career, I'd be happy.
What's that?
I'm watching the golf tournament.
Oh, gotcha.
On a different screen, and I looked over and saw one of the better chips I've seen in a long time.
I'll take a look at Pepsi just because it was being asked about.
That's PEP.
Yep.
Pepsi here, actually right back to its VWAP.
I do not like that formation right now on a lower time frame. That looks pretty bearish to me.
Which one? Which time frame?
5 minute, the 5 minute chart. I mean, you have a pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say the 3 minute looks very similar to that. But I agree with you. To me, it looks like this might be breaking down from here, right?
Yeah. Let me take a look at the daily and see what if I have any levels in this, if I can identify any. Well, at least I see a trend here. See what's going on with this. Well,
let me check the Twitter streets here.
I mean, as far as upside goes, I think that 167 would probably be a resistance level, and we're not too far away from there. If it does close above the 200-day SMA, I think that the 50-day SMA would probably push it back down. It's been going in an uptrend every time that we've sold off in October and recently in March. This current month, we're making higher lows, and that's the trend that I'm seeing. So we break that, then I think we're going down. And if I narrow down the time frame even more to a week, it looks pretty bearish to me. Oh, we bounced off the 200 week SMA. So I think the more pressure we put on that, the more likely we're headed down. This looks bearish to me. If we head down, I'd probably say maybe it gets support around 150.
Okay. Really appreciate that.
So that is Pepsi. I don't own it. I own Coke. I owned Pepsi at one point. Great company. It just, I wanted to take my profit in it when it went up.
Rules, man. That's rules-based trading and investing. That's the way it's done.
Correct.
That is the way it's done, 13.
VERI still looking pretty good, just moving slowly. LSF also looking pretty decent here. Like it wants to take out that 245 high.
This LSF here, this is interesting at 240. It's thin, it looks like, anyway. Volume's not terribly high here.
No, a lot of these are really starting to have volume leave. Speaking of volume, how's the SPY doing on volume? Okay, well, 21 million shares traded in the first hour. That's not bad.
SPY, we'll see if it actually uses the VWAP as resistance here and makes a move towards some of those lows. LFMD, I feel like that's one we've looked at here before. Haven't taken a look at it in a little bit, though. LFMD, wow, what a chart here. This actually moved up off that VWAP too. LifeMD.
When you say slow mover, I have to go and look and see what Root's doing.
You know what? Shame on me. I haven't even looked at what is it doing.
It looks like it provided an opportunity earlier this week.
It sure did. It pulled back here and went right back to the highs.
38, and now we're almost at 48. Oh, man.
Actually, I've got here from March 4th, I've got a print down here at 35. This stock, man.
I see it. Yeah, I see it earlier. Oh.
I definitely, I mean, I'm thinking about it the more. I miss this stock. Like, just straight up, like I missed this trade. There's nothing else for me to say. I got nothing else. I missed it. This thing's been a monster, though.
Yeah. And, you know, I just think that there's too much fear in getting into something like that because it's run so much. It's spready.
Yeah, it's really spready.
It's just, you know, there's a lot of risk to that one. So I don't blame you for not wanting to get in it.
APM curling back towards the VWAP here on APM. That's 768, currently at 712. So some room there. Rustam, let's take a look at Alt. I'll take a look at any stock. It's not a penny stock here. Alt. This is, of course, Altimmune. This actually at an interesting spot here. This came back in towards that 50-day moving average. I have the 20-day moving average at 1048. I have the 50-day moving average at 1038. We're currently right here at 1037. So this is actually a fairly decent spot for Alt. If it breaks down here, I got to think that we're going to have another move below 10. The question is going to be, does it get bought back up like it has the last two times?
I think it might be headed for the 500-day SMA. It just seems like it's...
What value do you have for that?
I have 818.
818. Okay, so there's a downside target for you there on Alt.
Yeah, it's been so it was a resistance turned support, and it's been support twice now.
Rick, I'm feeling that with Hollow and Sound today. They've just ran for a while now. Is that your feel? What are you referencing there? Wanting it for a pullback?
Oh, I think he's just kind of talking about how it's extended like a lot of things. That's what I'm understanding. But if I'm wrong about that, I apologize.
Rustam, I'm going to give you a 1-up and a cash register ring. Being a member of the community for 24 months, love this community. You're more than just trading. That warms my heart, Rustam. I want this to be more than just trading. That's why I bring people like my friends like 13 on. And Mitch before him, another friend of mine. Love working with good people. That to me is the big key. No matter what you're doing, no matter what your job is, you work with good people. You're going to expand your own capabilities. You guys are going to be stronger as a team, and I feel the same way about our community here. So Rustam, very much appreciate that. Thanks very much for being a part of our wonderful community here. VKTX being mentioned by Voodoo. Well, you know what? I think it actually might be time to take a look at VKTX on the daily chart here. Let me pull it up.
What are we looking at here? ARM trying to come back. Some of these things just don't have the volume to make the moves up that they did before, so keep that in mind.
Okay,
like
folks.
Beamer, though. What?
Well, I'll go right back to Beamer, but I did want to talk about VKTX because one of the things that we've been looking for here is one of the what I call the floating island formation trade. Now, as I've discovered, people have different definitions for islands, but the correct definition for an island here is going to be a pop to a new area. And you'll see here on VKTX, that's exactly what we've done here. We popped pretty large. We're in a new price area. So what happens? The stock exhausts itself on the way up. Then what does it need to do? Well, it needs to test that downside range. So we expect a little bit of a sell-off. This first one here, okay, pulled back to about halfway. When we tried another move back up towards the top, that was rejected. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test the bottom end of this range. To me, 57.50 is your dead drop area. If it breaks beneath that, the long is off. We're probably going to fill this gap down to 38. If it holds that, then maybe we can start making a move back up towards those highs. Now, the range here is pretty incredible, right? Range from the bottom of that candle, 57.50, bottom of this, 62, and we're talking about an upside target of 100 on there. This could be a pretty decent swing trade, but I'm not getting the signal that I want yet. This, to me, looks like it wants to go lower. That's the bottom end of that range.
So it looks like PPI seems to really be affecting this broader market right now. I wasn't really even paying attention to the print. I was watching rocket ships.
Well, so the PPI print, I think when we talked about this before, we talked about it maybe running a little hot. Well, guess what, Joe?
Let's see. Was it hot?
It ran a little hot. Core PPI month over month for February, 0.3 versus the 0.2 estimate. Core PPI year over year for February, 2% versus the 1.9 estimate. So we were slightly hot on both of those numbers. Jobless claims 209 versus the 218 estimate. The prior read there was 210.
I think that's a big thing for me because that shows that there's still some more robustness in the job market, and we really need to see jobs come in.
I like this guy, Nick. Nick saying, I should have listened to Anne Marie on BA. Nick, if I had a nickel for all of the times that I said to myself I should have listened to Anne Marie, I'd have hundreds of dollars because a lot of times her calls are absolutely spot on. I have no position in BA, but I am looking forward. To trading that eventually here.
What was the call that she made?
Well, she put on I think a 2-leg iron condor, right? Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. She put on a 2-leg iron condor. One of the things that she was saying was that if the stock, she wants to make it, she's a big fan of selling options. So if the stock moves up, okay, if the stock moves down, okay, but if the stock doesn't move at all, she was going to collect a bunch of that. This, if we take a look here at BA, let me actually flip over to the chart and I'll show you real quick. Yeah, my allergies are killing me. So here we go on BA. What Nick was saying here is he thought that this move was going to break lower. This move right from the 200 down to this 180 level, this is actually a previous support level. And I think Anne-Marie talked about this. I'm pretty sure this is the level that she was referencing. Now, BA here, it is bouncing a little bit here today, but it's still in that range. So I would imagine her trade is still rocking pretty good here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is still going lower, but as we observed with some of these big moves down, and just this morning with DG, when you get these moves, they tend to bounce back up and retest that previous support turn resistance level and then go down. And the support turn resistance level that I have for BA is the 500-day SMA.
I could actually turn those right back on here. Boom, 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 boom. So 189 possible bounce spot here on BA for that 500-day moving.
So we could see it trade right back up to that and get rejected. That's what I would be looking for. If we're looking for upside in Boeing, I think we're going to come back up to the 500-day SMA around that area, trade up to there, get rejected, and then we can go down because we've golden crossed last Friday. So longer term, this thing is likely headed lower. I believe it's headed lower. I believe it's headed toward 165 area. That's my view. But yeah, I could see us trading back up before we head down.
Just going the basic butterfly stays in a range. Voodoo mentioning here, Ryan, in regards to VKTX BZ newsfeed. Let me actually bring this up here, see what you're talking about. VKTX. Okay, and then news, 11 options trades. So is this what you're referring to here? So,
oh, Nick, eventually it's going to go. I think it'll go
it is.
lower than 165, but that's the next level I have. That's the bottom of this broadening wedge that I'm looking at here with the price action that we've had since just pretty much since January of last year.
So I think this is what you're mentioning here. 11 options trades indicates a bearish position on the stock. I scalped on the news for a quick trade. Still got it on the watch list. Okay. Well, awesome job there. And an awesome job using the news feed. You're absolutely right. That the whales print is actually, there's someone in our happy hour that talks about these whales prints and in the news feed all the time and how valuable they are. So it's awesome that you were able to capitalize on that as well, Voodoo. Voodoo doing great.
Yeah. And the market's not really doing that great. Not a whole lot of trades.
No, that bounce pretty much ended here. Looks like maybe we're rolling back over towards the lows. Let's see if we end up getting that done here. Got about 5 minutes left for the day here. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. It'll be good times then too.
It's a good time every day. Anytime I wake up this side of the ground, I feel like we're in for a good day. That's not always the case, but that's the way I feel.
I just want to see this broader market come in. I want some opportunities. I think, you know what, folks, we should probably get a shopping list together for if we do correct here at some point.
We've got some we can share. We've made some of those watch lists. We can kind of go over that if you want to do that at some point.
We also should make good on that suggestion about putting together a tier list for the best in breed AI names.
Yeah, I'm probably going to circle back with you after my birthday, just so I can actually be of help for you instead of just a blacked out mess.
I was looking into that yesterday. It's not going to be very difficult.
No, it's going to be easy and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, looks like BMR. It might. It's above VWAP now. It looks like this could get going here.
Let me go back to the trade the pool software here. Take a look here at BMR. Hollow, this is really kind of disappointing after that initial move. Really hasn't done much. Take a look here at BMR. BMR, actually, this looks like this is trying to come up off the VWAP. BMR. Yeah.
Well, if you have your VWAP a little bit different than mine, I believe. Mine, I was waiting for it to get above VWAP because it was struggling with that. But now it is, and it's support. And now I want to see some EMA crossing up through VWAP, and I think that'll give us the boost we need. We need that volume to expand in order to get through some of these levels, particularly the ones up in between 885 and 9.
Staff Sergeant Ryan, welcome back. It has been too long. Good morning, Ryan. I see nothing good for BA over the next 3 to 6 months as they focus on damage control. Have a good rest of the day.
Sounds okay. About right to me.
So first of all, Ryan, this has been a long time BA trader. Ryan, you've been with us for years. You've been following BA. You've been doing a lot of technical analysis on BA. If you have any other BA ties, would love to know about them. But Ryan here, one of his primary follows saying, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, their Boeing is pretty much just in damage control. To me, that makes longs very, very difficult to take here. I got to think that the easier trade here is going to be the short trade. The one caveat here is that I like how Anne-Marie kind of gives her exposure to both by using options. Maybe that's the smart way to go here. Ryan, the other day, one of the things that I said about BA is that the news flow is just so negative. Like that really needs to turn around before I feel comfortable about any type of long position. And now the chart's telling us the same thing.
This is for wisdom. I'm looking for CCTG to get above 420. I said the number. Nick is asking if he sees or you see Boeing going down to 36 or 136. I'm
possible.
Sorry. Let me take a look here because I had 2 levels for where I could see Boeing going, and 165 was one of them. And if we don't hold that area, then the next one I have is actually under 140. So I do see 135. Absolutely.
I think Boeing here, well, that's only 80 cents. Never mind. I was going to say, I think Boeing probably comes back in towards its VWAP here, but that's only 80 cents away. All right, folks, we are going to be wrapping up in just a few minutes here. Love to see Rory at the top of the leaderboard in this golf tournament. But as far as the market goes, 13, you got any final thoughts on the market, maybe the action that we've seen, individual names, where we go, anything really?
Well, it's looking like we're starting to roll over in the broader market. Let's see what happens over the next couple of days, maybe next week, and we'll probably get some opportunities to go long on this weakness. But that might not materialize until later on. So let's just keep watch.
Okay, and Tesla here. This is another one of our bigger watches here for today. 13. I gotta say, I appreciate the insights and coverage of the space launch here today. That's always great to see. Tesla here, we've had a kind of a wild morning, right? Had a pop in the pre-market, pop out of the open, and then a fade back down and through balance. Tesla looks like it's trying to go lower here and absolutely pounding the lows here. So I'm with you on the market. Let's see if we continue to get that sell-off. I think that your tip about coming up with a shopping list for quality names, I think that's very, very prudent. And you know what? If we see a continued sell-off into some of these other sessions, we can actually do that here as a group. So I love that idea, 13. Keep that on the radar. We will get that tier list thing made as well. Folks, and then finally, obviously, we're going to do a shout out to Michael and Trade the Pool. Great stuff here today. Great calls on that. We're going to keep bringing Michael back. He's absolutely awesome. And then finally, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us and hanging out with us here today. The show would not be what it is without its community. And for that, I thank all of you. 13, have a great rest of your day, my man. I will see you tomorrow. Community, you have a great rest of your day. Stay green, stay safe.